And I cannot believe what I just finished watching. What a freaking game between Japan and Sweden.
Brother, if there is one thing I have learned this World Cup, it is to never skip a Japan game.
Just went down in Dallas. I ain't gonna lie, this next round is about to be crazy. Do you mean we're about to get Brazil versus Japan in the round of 32? Samba versus Blue Lock, ain't no way.
The goal for Japan. He had one shot and that one shot went in. Aside from that, anytime he had the ball, all his passes were accurate. Of course, I have to mention Suzuki because he was brilliant as well today. He made 4 saves in this match.
日本代表がスウェーデンと1対1で引き分け、グループ2で決勝トーナメント進出を決めました。そして決勝トーナメント1回戦で待ち受けるのは、あの王国ブラジルです。日本は昨年10月の親善試合で、史上初めてブラジルを破っているんです。世界は日本のスウェーデン戦を踏まえて、ブラジルとの一戦をどう見ているのか、早速海外の反応を見ていきましょう。
And I cannot believe what I just finished watching. What a freaking game between Japan and Sweden. I'm not gonna lie to you. A draw was probably the most fair outcome out of this game because both teams played really good. Japan started the game by scoring this really beautiful, well-worked team goal. And I just was like, okay, they're winning this game. But that's not until Alanga pulled off this beautiful goal. And I don't even know how he scored it from this angle, but it had power, it had curve, and it had accuracy. In the 93rd minute, I really thought Japan was gonna win it all until their goalkeeper produced a magic moment and he saved them and rescued them a point. But now that also means that Japan is gonna have to face Brazil June 29th on Monday. And wow, that's gonna be a crazy game. Brazil has been relying on individual quality and moments of magic versus Japan, who actually plays like a team and a collective effort. They're gonna be going at it and we're gonna see who's gonna win. But early predictions, who do you guys actually have in this game? Because I am a little conflicted. This is how close that game is. I'll be crazy, but I could see this game genuinely going either way.
Brother, if there is one thing I have learned this World Cup, it is to never skip a Japan game. Brother, I have seen prime Barcelona. I have seen prime Real Madrid. But the type of beautiful football these Japanese players are playing cannot be taught, because without even turning his head a single time, he pulls off a perfect no-look pass. Where this man says, why should I even pass the ball? And decides to stop touching it altogether and just starts holding back the defender for his teammate to run up to the ball. And this brother doesn't just hit a first-time pass in between 3 Swedish defenders, because instead he does it in between 6 Swedish defenders for Japan's Maeda to slip it past the goalkeeper and bang it to the back of the net. But this is the moment where the soul of prime Arjen Robben decides to switch nationalities, because Newcastle's Anthony Elanga says, brother, I'm gonna put the Swedish team on my back because Alexander Isak is out here running cardio. And even though this brother's right foot, he smacks it with his left from the outside of the box. And even though it looks like the ball is going out, it curves around the goalkeeper to go to the back of the net. I ain't gonna lie, not only has Sweden and Japan both qualified for the round of 32, but brother, we are about to see Joga Bonito against Project Blue Lock.
Just went down in Dallas. I ain't gonna lie, this next round is about to be crazy. Do you mean we're about to get Brazil versus Japan in the round of 32? Samba versus Blue Lock, ain't no way. Coming into the match against Sweden, Japan was starting to cook because they beat Tunisia 4-0. And it was a packed house in Dallas. What was about to go down? The second half is when things got interesting. The Swedish backline got caught sleeping. How did bro get in between all them? And what a finish to put Japan in the lead over Sweden. It didn't take long for Sweden because somehow Elanga shot this rocket out of nowhere. Even Japan's fans had to bring out the binoculars. They couldn't believe what they were seeing. Kira was seen laughing. He knew it was already over. As win or draw, Japan were into the next round already. And in their way will be Brazil. I ain't gonna lie, this is gonna be a generational matchup. Don't forget Neymar is also back for Brazil. Brazil versus Japan, June 29th. Book it in Houston, Texas. I ain't gonna lie, this is gonna be a banger.
Japan have been absolutely brilliant in this World Cup so far, so who did they get rewarded with? Brazil. So you're telling me Japan won, Sweden won. Japan have qualified for the next round of the World Cup, where they'll be playing Brazil. Brazil versus Japan in the round of 32. I mean, Japan have been absolutely brilliant. Against the Netherlands, they were brilliant. Against Sweden, they were very good. And against Tunisia, they were outstanding. They do all this to play Brazil in the next round. Like, what? That last minute save from goalkeeper Suzuki is the reason they're playing against Brazil in the next round. I mean, it's a brilliant save in the 90+3rd minute. That save is incredible. And as you can see, according to traders on Polymarket, Japan have a 32% chance of reaching the round of 16 at the World Cup. If it was any other team, Japan would be going through. But with Brazil, I'm not sure. This will probably be match of the tournament. I mean, you've got Brazil with all their firepower going forward and just that world-class players. Japan, so good tactically. Everything about them, I've really enjoyed watching Japan this year. Brazil versus Japan in the next round of 32 because Sweden won, Japan won, Sweden won.
Okay guys, so today Japan played against Sweden in their last group stage match. The game ended in a draw 1-1, so let's talk about the game. So I understand the scoreline was like 1-1, but I did in fact enjoy this game. I like the intensity that both teams were going at. I like that it was very back and forth at times. I think both teams were also solid defensively, putting in the block, obviously aside from the goals conceded. In regards to Japan, they're very compact when they need to. And of course, in regards to Sweden, they woke up a lot in the second half. Now, the only thing with Sweden I will say is that they weren't like making the right passes or able to find the right passes in like certain channels. And in regards to Japan, I like the quick passing that they were having. Now let's get into individual players, starting off with Maeda, who of course scored the goal for Japan. He had one shot and that one shot went in. Aside from that, anytime he had the ball, all his passes were accurate. Now in regards to Don, he did get an assist today. I do feel like on the ball, sometimes like the crosses were a little off. And of course, even though he's not a defender, I do feel like he was bullied off the ball a little too much physicality-wise. Now let's talk about Tanaka, who was so good in that midfield today. He won 8 ground duels, had 5 defensive contributions, had 8 recoveries, also all his dribbling was successful and obviously solid on the ball for the most part. Now in regards to Kamada, he created 2 chances for his team, one of those being a big chance. His crosses were also excellent today. And of course, I have to mention Suzuki because he was brilliant as well today. He made 4 saves in this match. And aside from that, like towards the end of the game, he was challenged. Like he made a very big save to deny Sweden from winning the match. This is how Group F ends. Netherlands on top, followed by Japan in second, Sweden in third, and of course, Sweden has 4 points. They will advance to the round of 32. And obviously, Tunisia has been eliminated from the World Cup. Honestly, this game could have been very interesting because if Japan would have won the game, and it seemed like at one point they were leading, they were tied on points with Netherlands, it would have really come down to goal differential. But of course, Netherlands ended up, winning their group with 7 points, whereas Japan only had 5 and Sweden only had 4. Anyways, guys, be sure to comment your thoughts on the game in the comment section, and yeah, bye.